Hey everyone, Tugg here. So in this box, I have the best and worst character idea ever created. We won't know what it is until we open it. So we're gonna just throw quantum physics out the window and we can check that off for another dumb intro. Anyway, so our goal today is essentially to make Schrödinger's cat in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Now, I know like a base level of quantum physics, so I understand that you can't actually have this idea happen. Like, as soon as you observe it to either be alive or dead, it's one or the other, and therefore the quantumness of the Schrödinger cat in the box, it's just out the window. But this is a fantasy game, and therefore in Dungeons and Dragons, there is a way to be both alive and dead at the same time, kind of, which is being undead. So, here's how we got to build this character. You go and you choose your class as wizard. You give yourself a constitution of 8. And bam, you have 5 hit points. The second you get hit, you'll be dead. And then you just have to ask your big necromancer friend to bring you back to life. So if we're taking this seriously, which I am, I mean, this is all for fun, it's all gag, but obviously it's to be Schrödinger's cat. Oh, by the way, our name is Sheldon, because, you know, he can't be named Schrödinger because he's Schrödinger's cat. He's not Schrödinger himself, but his name is Sheldon. And so we have to choose Tabaxi because that is the cat race. So what we have to figure out now is how we're going to turn our cat boy Sheldon into a Lich. Because being a Lich, I mean, you like I said, you could basically be any undead and you'd be both alive and dead at the same time. But if we're gonna shoot for the stars, we're gonna shoot for the friggin' stars. As far as I'm aware, in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, there are no outright spoken ways on how to become a Lich in the game. Now, if we go to the official materials, there are some ways that it alludes to how you could become a Lich. So if you check the official Lich stat block in the monster manual, it basically says that you have to do like a ritual. You have to get the information from some higher being, such as Orcus or something. Then you have to like kill someone and use their blood in a ritual potion sacrifice thing and put it in the phylactery or whatever, and bam, Lichy. Then in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there is the I want to say it's called the Book of Vile Deeds. I was just looking at it. I swear that's right. It's an artifact. It's a magic item artifact. It's called the Book of Vile Darkness. Sorry, the Book of Exalted Deeds, the Book of Vile Darkness. Okay, so the Book of Vile Darkness, it is just this terribly evil book, basically, and it says right here, Vile Apotheosis. The book could hold a ritual that allows a character to become a Lich or Death Knight. It's really up to the DM's discretion. So if we're making a character that's whole point is to become a Lich, hopefully your DM would work with you, be like, hey, as long as you're not completely evil, maybe. But the thing that is, because we are Schrödinger's cat, we're doing this for science. So it's not evil, it's for the good of mankind. So we have to find the Book of Vile Darkness. So really we could be any magical based class, I think. Wizard probably be the best. But our big thing is we have to be able to find this Book of Vile Darkness so that we can get the secrets for Lichdom without contacting Orcus or another undead big entity, okay? The nature can't abide the book's presence. Ordinary plants wither in its presence. Animals are unwilling to approach it, and the book gradually destroys whatever it touches. Even stone cracks and turns to powder if the book rests on it long enough. So, assuming that our character's purpose was to find this Book of Vile Darkness so that they could achieve Lichdom, we would have to be able to locate it. So maybe if there's some sort of big, I mean, I know there's locate object, but I don't know if that's intense enough for an artifact. I'll have to look at the spell list in a second. But I'm figuring that we have to use some sort of divination magic. So we're probably going to have to be a divination wizard to get this done. And we're going to actually try to be as low as possible to achieve this goal. Because I don't want to make it, because not every campaign reaches high levels all the time. So these are all our divination wizard spells. So let's go them level low to high. Our first one is locate object. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You send the direction to the object's location as long as it is within 1,000 feet of you. So that's not going to be good enough unless you're really close to it already. Clairvoyance. Location familiar to you. Legend lore. Okay, so from what I can see, Legend Lore is going to be the best spell that can get us information about the Book of Vile Darkness. It says you can name or describe a person, place, or object. It's an object. It says here, if the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. This is the Book of Vile Darkness. It is an artifact that is above legendary magical items, so obviously this will be good. Okay, so we need to be at least a 9th level wizard, and we need to have the spell Legend Lore. With level 9 of being a School of Divination wizard, you basically have everything you need to know to cast the spell Legend Lore already. The trick is just surviving to level 9 as a wizard. I can't say that objectively, but again, Legend Lore, it's up to your DM to give you truly the tools that you need to be able to get a Book of Vile Darkness and like know where it is. But if you're making it clear that it's one of your character goals, hopefully your DM will work with you to achieve that goal. So let's take a second to look at where we're at. So we are a tabaxi, we're a cat-like humanoid. That makes us the back half of Schrödinger's cat. Again, our name isn't Schrödinger, but our name is Sheldon to still pay tribute to that whole gigantic explosion hypothesis. Our scores kind of back it up. You have a good enough intelligence that you'll be able to effectively cast as just a 9th level. Your next ASI level 12 or whatever it is, just bump it up a little higher. You can choose that you are a sage as your background, because that basically implies research. You get history defaulting, and then choose like religion or investigation would be good. Yeah, because you're trying to figure out where the whole book is. Take is it written in a specific language, or does it say no? You just have to spend 80 hours reading and studying it to digest its contents. By the way, if you have the DMG, make sure you read about what the Book of Vile Darkness is, because it's intense. You have to read it for 80 hours in game time. And you have to do it, like, if you mess stuff up, you literally become evil and you get evil marks, and it can actually really change your entire character. But again, Lichdom is not something easy to obtain. We'll take Infernal, we'll take Abyssal. Makes sense. We'll leave all that stuff alone for now. Equipment, we'll choose our starting equipment of a dagger, arcane focus of the form of an arcane focus, a scholar's pack, a spell book, and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Schrödinger's cat at a base level. So you take the Tabaxi Wizard, you use the spells that you have to kind of track down where the Book of Vile Darkness is. Or if you want to go about getting your Lich info a different way, you can get it a different way. But the Book of Vile Darkness is an artifact that exists usually in D&D settings. And you can potentially get Lich information out of it. So you can use that, track it down, use the book, then do the ritual. And then after you've achieved your undeath as a Lich, you're a cat that is both alive and dead at the same time. You are Schrödinger's cat. All you have to do is hide in a box for the rest of your life. So while I was finishing making this video, I ran out of storage space on my laptop that I was doing the editing on. and it cut off the last 10 seconds of my video, but I'd also gotten rid of the raw files already by accident because I was trying to clean up the whole thing by getting rid of making the storage room, and I thought it was going to be okay. It wasn't. So I'm going to throw in the original ending, re-edited now. It was basically just a big thank you, and wishing you all a beautiful day. Take care, guys.